Think about how sad it is that if you were raised by your parents and your teachers in a slightly better way, if they praised you more for your small improvements, you'd be far ahead in your self-improvement journey now. You would have developed psychologically and cognitively better. That means higher intelligence, better problem solving, all if your role models praised you. And so Adonis makes sure that all young men in his cult are praised and appreciated. He sees you working hard and he says those magical words to you. I'm proud of you. I've been training Muay Thai about 5-6 times a week for the past 2 weeks now since I landed in Thailand. I'm loving it. I'm literally wearing like the shorts from my club. I just bought them today. And there was like one particular learning lesson that I got from a training session with one of my instructors. We're doing the pads, right? So they hold pads, you've got gloves on and you're just kind of like, hitting them. And I was really thinking about this concept of like the importance of like praise and positive feedback. And I was just seeing how it really works out in like a Muay Thai martial arts gym. And there's a time, he's telling me to like, perfect my jab, make it more snappy. And so I do exactly what he said. It sounds good, it feels good, it looks good. And the way that he praised me, like he went out of his way. Now, this might seem insignificant if you're not so clued up on martial arts, so I'll try and explain it. But if you have been to like a boxing club before, you'll know how significant this is. When I followed his instructions well and I threw like a really good jab, it seemed really good to me. He literally stopped, took off the pads and went, good, very good, like this. Like, so, you somewhat interrupt the entire like flow that we've got going on, but it's like, bro, I couldn't help but smile like a little boy when he did that. I literally felt like so warm and it stayed in my mind. Now, even 3-5 sessions later, I'm doing the exact technique that he told me because it's so ingrained in my mind in like someone I'm looking up to saying, good, well done. And the same guy and some of the other instructors in the club that I'm going to, they do this thing which I've noticed they do with a bunch of the people who come train there, where they'll over exaggerate the strength that you've got. So he'll tell me, okay, elbow the pad. He'll say power elbow, and when I'll elbow, he'll throw himself back and be like, "Ooh, knockout!" And it's so you can't help but smile when that happens. And of course, they're being silly and they're going over the top, but it's like that feels really good. I do have more of like an observer kind of brains, and so when I've seen them do it to other people, I've seen them do it to Sam and Nabil, I notice on Sam's face, I notice on Nabil's face, like they literally just seem like happier, like they've just entered a flow state, like they stand up with more confidence, they're now holding way better eye contact with the instructor. Like it feels amazing to be praised and appreciated. And now we can just be sat here and thinking like, oh, well, I really hope more people praise me. I really hope more people appreciate me. But why don't we take more of a leadership role in that? Why don't you start praising people more? And I know you might get a little bit insecure and say, well, no, but I can't be in the position to praise other people because I'm not so advanced just yet. But the thing is, even if you're like low down, let's say you're a beginner in the gym and there's a guy who's jacked. Now, if that jacked guy gave you a compliment and praised you, that'd be awesome. But if you, the beginner in the gym, praised him and gave him a compliment, it would still be awesome for him. It would literally still be awesome. You would still have like a huge significant influence on his mood and his emotions when you go up to like a big guy who's way more advanced than you and you compliment him and you praise him and you say something like, whoa, bro, your physique's insane. I bet that took a lot of work. You've got my respect for that. And suddenly the master is so humbled and appreciated, and he's so interested in you now. We love people who are so positive and who praise us. So why don't we become that person who dishes out the praise? So you know what? You want this video to actually help you instead of just being like a dumb little like Jeffrey just sat there like, oh well, this sounds really good and I'll never use it. How about you set the intention to use this right now? How about you add praise someone, give a compliment on your habit tracker? How about every day you go about your life with that intention, compliment one person, praise one person? Because I started doing this recently, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Me and Sam and Nabil, we went to Muay Thai, then we went to the gym, then Nabil went home, and then me and Sam stayed for yoga as well. So imagine that, imagine you wake up early, you've went to Muay Thai, gym and yoga. Now that's already quite advanced and that's like quite like a full day of activity for me. And I've been doing this for quite a while, for years. For Sam was like the total, like this isn't even an insult, we say this as like a total fact. Sam was like an objective Jeffrey about 1.5 years ago. And so to think that he woke up early, really think about this. He woke up early in Thailand. A guy who used to live stream on Twitch for 16 hours a day, woke up early in Thailand, but first thing went to Muay Thai, trained fasted, went to the gym, smashed the gym workout, and then went to yoga. And we did a group meditation session before we actually left for Muay Thai. And so it was in the yoga session, you're like, yoga is kind of like stretching with meditation. And at the end, you kind of like lie there for a minute and the guy just takes you through some breathing. And I just got a random thought. I was like, it's 10 a.m. Sam's meditated twice today. He's done 2 workouts. It's 10 a.m. and he's accomplished like 4 things. And Alicia just turned to him and said, bro, I'm so proud of you. Like, a year ago. Like, think about how different that is. You've literally meditated twice today. Think about like if Sam from 2 years ago knew. Sam from 2 years ago was like, I've got to put this in your mind, bro. Sam from 2 years ago was literally live streaming on Twitch for literally like 12, you know those guys who live stream and they have like 3 viewers? Sam was one of them. Like, he would literally play video games for like 16 hours. He would literally wake up at like 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. Think about the progress that he's made. I couldn't help but appreciate and praise him. And so I literally just turned to him and just said, bro, I'm so proud of you. You've done so much today. And you know, he was kind of cool with it. And he was, oh yeah, thank you. Like 5 hours later, we're coming back into the house after getting food or something. And he just kind of like, you know, acting cool and just saying, oh, okay, yeah, thank you. But then later on that night, just as I'm about to go to bed, we kind of like, we always hug each other before, like when we're saying goodnight. And he just says, oh yeah, thank you for saying that. That really, really meant a lot to me. And as soon as he said that, that really, really meant a lot to me. That's exactly what some of the guys and the girls said in my Discord server. So I have I'm not trying to sell you it or anything. There's nothing to pay for, but I have a Discord server which has like 60, 70,000 young men who are on self-improvement. And I'll be totally honest, I don't really use Discord that much. So it's a very valuable resource if you want to go make friends and, you know, you want to have like chats and everything. But I don't use it that much. But every now and then I just kind of like go into the video chats. And 100%, bro, it's kind of like for my ego validation because, you know, it's my server. So I click on the video chat and oh my God, Hamza's here. So I kind of like that sort of effect. But I went into it the other day and, you know, everyone's like, oh my God, Hamza's here. And there's a guy, like one guy's got his video camera on. So I literally just say his like Discord name and I say, tell me your self-improvement journey. And that was like a magical question because suddenly the entire, you know, everyone was like, oh my God, Hamza's here. Everyone's just quiet. This guy has the stage and everyone's listening to his journey, his problems, how much weight he lost, how he felt about it. He tells his entire story that over COVID he gained more weight and then recently he's lost it, and he showed us his progress pictures. And then I said the magical words to him, I'm so proud of you. And I literally like saw like I can see it in his face of how much that meant to him. And then another guy turns his video camera on, so I tell him, okay, tell me your self-improvement story. And it's quite similar, like their self-improvement journeys were quite based around losing fat first, and you know, that was like their first thing, and it was for me as well. That was like their first sort of entrance into the self-improvement journey. And so the exact same thing, he tells me a story, everyone's like, oh my God, wow, you lost so much weight and everything, and I say, bro, I'm so proud of you, well done. And then there was a girl there as well, so I asked her, because she had her video camera on. So I asked her as well, tell me your self-improvement story. And hers was slightly different. Hers was like taking a big step back from like substances and drugs. And like, you know, she used to like essentially be high all the time. And I told her like I fully relate to that. I know how hard it is to take a step back from that life. And so I'm proud of you. And the same thing, bro, I can't even explain it to you, but it's like you can literally see, this is like weirdly spiritual. You can literally see someone's soul get nourished when you praise them. Yo, like next time you go and praise someone, bro, really like, you know, observe their body language, observe their facial details. You will literally see their soul get nourished, and you're the cause of that. You know, of course they did the hard work 100%, that's so great, but you're the one who's kind of brought it up to them. We love being appreciated and praised by other people, and why do you think that is? It's evolution. We're so active, you know, we're so observant of like where we are in the tribe, in the social hierarchy. And so when someone in the tribe, the social hierarchy tells us like, well done, it kind of like solidifies our place. And if anything, maybe we feel like we've moved up, or we feel secure. That's a very important feeling. And these days it's almost weird. It's seen as like gay to compliment your friends. It's quite strange to give out compliments or praises to random people. It's not what 99% of people do, but we want to be like the 1% anyway. So we were in the gym, me and Sam, on that same day that me and Sam went to Muay Thai, then the gym, then yoga. We've left the gym, like, and the gym has this like kind of like bar where you can get like protein shakes and stuff. So we sat outside, and he told me that in his goals, in his habit tracker, he had like compliment one person. So he's got this, and I literally, like, a big hench guy walked through, and I said, bro, him right now. And straight away Sam just kind of stands up and says, yo bro, like your physique's insane. And then, you know, he starts speaking to him. The guy's face lights up. So that dynamic I told you before, like, you know, you might feel a little bit insecure, like, oh no, but I can't praise other people because, you know, it only works because Hamza's got the physique so he can praise someone. No, like, you can praise anyone you want. And let's take this to the extreme, right? If you think you've got to be like really close to the person or even better than the person to praise them, how would, let's say, the president of the United States, how would a NASA astronaut feel if they were praised by like a 4-year-old? Amazing. So you don't have to be like on someone's level. You don't have to be above them. You can be like a little boy and praise a grown-ass man. And how is a grown-ass man gonna feel when like a little boy looks up to him and says like, you look strong? That grown-ass man is gonna feel fucking strong, gonna feel so good. So don't have this like limiting belief. Oh, well, you know, this sounds like great advice, Hamza, but I can't do it because I'm not jacked yet. Oh yeah, it's sometime in the future. I'll start this soon. No, don't be a little bitch. You start this today. If you want to make some progress, you start today. You've already got like the inspiration from this. You start today, you start now, and you never stop something like this. Now, right now, we've just been thinking about the short term. Like, oh yeah, like, today, praise someone, tomorrow, praise someone. Imagine the rest of your life with this as a habit. Imagine you navigate your entire life constantly, consistently giving out praises and appreciation, bro. I promise you, if there's like two paths, one of them you praise and appreciate people, one of them you just don't, and maybe you very, very rarely do. This is going to be filled with so much love, so many like connections, so many like random friendships all around the world. That's the life that you've always wanted anyway. And so you have to take that initial step, and it can be hard, especially I found like the hardest time with this is kind of doing it to someone who hasn't really acknowledged your existence, in the sense that, they're just focused on their workout. They're just, in the shopping center or something. It's a lot easier when someone comes in and looks at you and you have a conversation. Then you can say, oh, by the way, you've got a really good physique, or your dress sense is really nice. This is where like cold approach skills can really come in handy, because the ultimate scenario to practice with this, to praise people, is to go and praise someone who hasn't even looked at you yet, because that's uncomfortable, bro. If you can do that, you have my respect. That's a challenge. It's nice and easy being able to praise a friend. It's nice and easy being able to praise someone who you're already in a conversation to. But if there's a stranger right there, you're in a shop, you're in a restaurant, and you just briefly go up and give them a compliment when they haven't even like looked at you yet, that takes some confidence. And again, picture a whole life full of that. I really hope you'll take this step, because one of the most beautiful things we could have in this cult, in this brotherhood, this movement, is all of us just constantly praising and appreciating each other. And trust me when I say, I've done like a good amount of reading on this with social skills books, and I've done, sort of like practices myself. It doesn't get diluted. You never have to think, oh, well, like if I praise someone so much, then it won't be important. It's like praise as much as possible. There was a quote from this one book, I don't remember which book it was, but it said, however much you think you should praise and appreciate someone, double it, and you're still not even there yet. Keep that in mind. You can subscribe to our channel if you want to. Welcome to the cult. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.